The moment Soo-kai appeared again after his meeting with Tan Songyun, something about him felt undeniably different. It wasn't just the way he carried himself or the subtle shift in his posture, but something far more intangible. Fans immediately sensed it, even before they could fully explain what had changed. There was a softness in his expression that hadn't been as visible before. His eyes seemed warmer, more reflective, as if they were holding onto a memory he wasn't ready to let go of. It was the kind of look that made people pause and wonder what had happened behind the scenes. When he smiled, it wasn't the usual charming grin that audiences had grown accustomed to. This time, it felt deeper, more genuine, almost as if it came from a place of quiet happiness. It lingered just a little longer, enough to make hearts flutter. Fans quickly picked up on this subtle transformation. Social media buzzed with speculation, with many pointing out how his entire aura seemed lighter. It was as if he had returned carrying a secret that only he understood, yet it radiated through every small gesture. Some described it as a post-meeting glow, while others believed it was simply the result of a meaningful conversation. Whatever it was, it had clearly left an impression on him, and that impression was now visible to the world. The memory of his meeting with Tan Songyun seemed to linger in his expressions. Even when he wasn't smiling, there was a calmness in his face, a quiet contentment that hadn't gone unnoticed. It was the kind of change that didn't need words to be understood. During interviews, his responses felt slightly more relaxed, more natural. He laughed a bit more freely, his voice carrying a warmth that fans hadn't heard in a while. It was as if he had shed a layer of pressure, even if only temporarily. Every small detail became a topic of discussion. The way he glanced down briefly before smiling, the slight tilt of his head, the softness in his gaze, all of it felt new, yet somehow familiar. Fans couldn't stop watching, replaying moments to capture that change. There was something undeniably captivating about this version of Soo-kai. It wasn't just about appearance, it was about presence. He seemed more present in every moment, more connected to himself and the people around him. Some fans wondered if the meeting had reminded him of something important. Perhaps it brought back old memories, or maybe it sparked new inspiration. Whatever the reason, it had clearly touched him in a meaningful way. The chemistry between Soo-kai and Tan Songyun had always been appreciated, but this time it felt different. Even without seeing the actual conversation, fans could sense that it had been special. It left a mark that was impossible to ignore. As clips and photos circulated online, the reactions only grew stronger. Comments flooded in, with fans expressing how much they loved seeing him like this. Many admitted that his smile alone was enough to brighten their day. There was a sense of authenticity in his expressions that made everything feel more real. It wasn't staged or forced, it was natural, effortless. And that authenticity resonated deeply with those watching him. The change wasn't dramatic, but that was what made it so powerful. It was subtle, almost delicate, yet impossible to overlook. It was the kind of transformation that spoke volumes without saying a single word. His smile became the center of attention. Not because it was new, but because it felt different. It carried emotion, a story that fans were eager to understand, even if they never fully could. Moments that might have gone unnoticed before were now being analyzed with great attention. A simple glance, a quiet laugh, a brief pause, everything seemed to hold meaning. Fans were captivated by every second. There was also a sense of curiosity surrounding this change. People wanted to know what had been said during that meeting, what kind of conversation could leave such a visible impact. But perhaps the mystery was part of its charm. Soo-kai didn't openly address the change, but he didn't need to. His expressions spoke for him, telling a story that words might not fully capture. It was a silent narrative that fans were eager to interpret. In a way, this transformation made him feel more relatable. It showed a different side of him, one that felt more human, more grounded. It reminded fans that even someone in the spotlight can be moved by simple moments. The idea that a single meeting could create such a shift was both fascinating and heartwarming. It highlighted the importance of connection, of meaningful interactions that leave lasting impressions. As time went on, the discussions didn't fade. Instead, they evolved, with fans sharing their own interpretations and feelings. It became more than just an observation, it became a shared experience. There was something poetic about the way his smile carried so much emotion. It was gentle yet powerful, subtle yet unforgettable. It was the kind of smile that stayed with you long after you saw it. Even those who hadn't followed him closely before began to take notice. The change was that striking, that intriguing. It drew people in, making them want to understand more about him. It also sparked a sense of admiration. Fans appreciated not just his talent, but the authenticity he displayed. It made them feel closer to him, as if they were witnessing something personal. The meeting with Tan Songyun became a moment that fans would remember, even without seeing it directly. It was defined not by what was shown, but by what it revealed afterward. There was a quiet beauty in the way everything unfolded. No dramatic announcements, no grand gestures, just a simple change that spoke volumes. It felt genuine, and that made it special. Sukai's smile became a symbol of that moment, a reflection of whatever he experienced during that meeting. It was a reminder that sometimes the smallest moments can have the biggest impact. Fans continued to support him, celebrating this new side of him. They found joy in seeing him happy, even if they didn't know the full story behind it. That happiness was enough. The connection between him and his audience felt stronger than ever. It was built on shared emotions, on the ability to feel something through a simple expression. As days passed, the memory of that change didn't fade. It remained, lingering in the minds of those who had noticed it. It became part of how they saw him moving forward. There was a sense of anticipation as well. Fans wondered if this change would continue, if it would influence his future work and appearances. It added an extra layer of excitement. In the end, it wasn't about finding a definitive explanation. It was about appreciating the moment, the emotion, and the subtle beauty of that transformation. Sometimes, not knowing makes it even more meaningful. Sukai's smile after that meeting became more than just a smile. It became a story, a feeling, a moment that connected him to his fans in a deeper way. And perhaps that's what made it so unforgettable.